Hello, welcome into Ticor Title Talk. It's Ryan and Haley, and today we're talking about how do you prepare for your day, for a changing market, for life.
For life. I mean, we were talking about this and we were preparing on kind of what we were going to talk about, and we've really noticed, there's a lot of changes, and we're always subject to change, right?
Yeah.
Like, I love the little disclaimer of like subject to change. That's like our lives, and the only constant that we really can count on is change.
Absolutely.
So like, how do we mentally prepare for changes? How do we physically prepare for changes? Prepare our lives in general. Like, there's so much preparation that we can be doing.
So much preparation to be done. I mean, we have noticed a market shift, with more activity, more with the rates. We've seen, a rise in refinances, people being able to restructure debt on their houses. So that's more volume. Mm-hmm. So that's like in the throes of a chaotic phone situation and files, and with files come challenges and solutions and all of that. So how do you prepare for even a higher ramped up, more volume based market? So we started thinking about that. Well, how do you prepare for anything? How do you prepare for the day? Do you have a morning routine? Do you get quiet? Do you take time away from the industry, from the busyness of being busy, and not be a human doing and a human thinking, but just be a human being for a while?
Right. Well, and it's so hard to really know what to prepare for, right? Because like all of our crystal balls are murky. None of us really know into the future. I'm not a psychic. I'm not a medium. I don't play like.
Really?
No, sometimes like my intuition's really good, but so it's like, how do we prepare for these things that we don't even see coming? Like with the market changing, with life events, with adversity that comes into us. So first, for us, like when we talk about preparation, we really have to. I just realized we don't have the mics, but hope you guys can hear us.
Yeah, we're going to use our projected
talking about
today.
preparation, we were so prepped and ready for this video. I realized that just happened, but good thing we can project.
Yeah.
So really when it comes down to preparation, it starts with us internally. And I know we talk about this a lot, but it's the importance of our business. It's the importance for a lot of our clients is how do we prepare for the day, for the adversity that comes after us. And first with us, we know like it starts with our morning routines, it starts with our self-talk, it starts with our affirmations. Like this morning I was reading my daily stoic, and it was talking about how you keep your fortress impenetrable. It's like
the
how
inner citadel.
did you read it too this morning?
Every day. It's part of my routine.
So, and it really hit home, and now taking into this video, it was like, wow. That is just talking about our internal dialogue and keeping ourselves so prepared inside where nothing can penetrate the inside of our soul.
It's such a good point, because we are the business when we're in sales, right? I don't care if you're selling yachts or houses or loans or title, with the mindset you're in, and your business goes as you go. Right? So how you can prepare is obviously you can get your business up to snuff by having better systems, by having a CRM, by having help, by leveraging other people's efforts, by leveraging your time. But how do I get to the point where I'm bringing my best version of myself to the day? And I'm big on habits, habitual practices, and routines, because I don't wake up like feeling like it every day. Sometimes there's a whole committee that is anti-Ryan and some self-loathing going on, and there's a dude with a megaphone telling me what an asshole I am, and I don't need to continue that through my day. So through a morning routine where I get quiet, I read some things, I write some things, and just let the mind take a break for a minute, I can emerge from my routine a better version. Sometimes I'm still just a 6.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm a 20.
Yeah.
But it's better than when I got up,
Well, and I heard a quote the other day that really hit home for both Ryan and I was like, this is how we live, is we have to be selfish with our mornings so we can be selfless with our day. Ooh. And that's really where we thrive, is because we really have to take in our own time, so when shit does hit the fan in the middle of the day, because look, we got files going on, fires going out, we're like half the time firefighters, like shit, we got this uninsured fees, we got this, we got solar issues with all these solar bankruptcies, all these things going on. And so we know that if we're in a good state, I can handle that a little bit better. I can handle when somebody calls and is like, hey, we can't use you on this title, so and so. I'm like, you know what? All good, baby. All good.
Say that one again. The quote.
The quote is, be selfish in your mornings so you can be selfless with your day.
Yeah, and what I hear is commit to the process, right? Have a process, right? Identify your process. What makes you feel good? What gets you going? Is it getting the blood pumping? Is it getting the mind going by reading? What is it? Is it time with loved ones? Is it meditating? You know, some people can't start the day without a 30-minute guided meditation. I get it. It's awesome. Whatever it is, but have a process. And be constantly tweaking and top grading your process on what gets you to a state where you can have your internals so solid that whatever the externals, you can take it, right? Because if I'm whimsical and I'm like a reed in the wind, and the winds are great, I'm great. The winds are terrible and it's all adversity and everything's falling apart, I feel like I'm falling apart.
Oh, yeah.
But if I stand on a firm ground, an inner citadel, where I use my reasoned choice to have, you know, my internals solid, and regardless of what the day brings and what the things outside my control bring, and they do, right? All the time.
All the time.
If I have it, the weather is still cool inside because I know who I am, I know what I do, I know why I do it, and I prep myself to do it. So when we say, how do you prepare? How do you prepare to go visit grandkids that might drive you nuts for the afternoon? How do you prepare to go for a listing presentation where you're nervous and you don't want to lose this opportunity? How do you prepare for your day? How do you prepare for the holiday season coming up? Yes, I said holiday season. I brought it up. Somebody has Halloween decorations on our block already up, so I'm like, oh my God, here we go.
I was on the Peloton this morning. Somebody said like their name was like Nutmeg or something, and I was writing Cody, and Cody was like, not today. I don't even want to say your name because we are not even like. Let us get through Halloween first. And I was like, you know what? Let us get through today first.
Can I get one more drop of summer?
Yeah, like let me. I mean, it's already getting cold again. Even though we were just complaining how hot it was, but last night I actually had like the blankets up a little bit more. But
I do sleep better. Yeah.
But going back to preparation, like Ryan said it, what are your systems like? How are you prepared to take business? How do you prepare to get your calls going? I mean, we have a whole regimen of how we get warmed up to make our calls and how we get into calls. So how do you prepare? If you gotta jump up and down and do freaking jumping jacks and Tony Robbins it out to get that higher state, that energy,
more power to you.
That's part of preparation. So find your preparation, find your routine, because when everything fails and the bullets start flying, what do you always say? You go back to your highest training. You go back to your systems. And if you are disciplined in your systems and your routines, you're disciplined in your business. Like it hand in hand.
Everybody's got a plan until you punch in the mouth, right? Thank you,
Mike Tyson. Yes.
Yeah, but the Marines, we listen to a lot of Navy SEALs, the Jim Rome podcast, the Reinvention Project. He's got so many Navy SEAls on there. And I'll say, like, slow is smooth and smooth is fast. Or things like, they train and train and train on like the engine going on in the helicopter or the gun jamming. They train incessantly because you fall to your highest level of training in chaos, right? So when you're in free fall, you fall to your highest norm, your standard. So when we talk about preparation and have processes and standards, review your standards. And when you know what your standards are, then the beauty is you can start top grading and getting better and better standards, because you know what I've come to know personally is better habits, better results, right?
Yes.
Because we are our habits. We become, our life starts reflecting back to us our habits.
Yeah.
And I heard another great quote, you don't get what you want in life, you get what you are. So what are you building, what are you building yourself into that the universe can reflect back to you? Right? And it starts with a simple routine, simple processes that you can start from a firm foundation and improve upon all the time. And I think it's critical because you can be ready for anything on the external if your internal solid.
Well, I pulled a Ryan line today. I was on the phone with a client on the way over here, and he was talking about these deals he's got, and he's so excited. He has 4 listings coming up, and we talk to him about this all the time. Like, bro, you're putting in the work. You're making calls. It's going to be like this, and next thing you know, it's going to take off. And I was like, and he was like, and I was like, when was the last time you prospect now that you got these 4 listings? And he goes, it's been a little bit. I said, one day turns into 2 days. This is what Ryan said the other day. I was like, one day turns into 2 days, turns into a week, and next thing you know, you're not prospecting. You close those 4 listings, and then what? What's in your pipeline? And he was like, oh shit, like you were so right. So having the daily habits, prepping yourself. I was like, bro, you were a cold calling machine. Like why'd you step off the gas? Like, you got the momentum, keep it going. And he was like, I needed to hear that today. Like, that's what I needed to hear.
And it's subtle, right? Because it starts with I don't want to, and then if you let the I don't want to turn into the I ain't gonna, then one day turns into two, turns into a week, you haven't done anything, and the next thing you know, you got a goose egg on the scoreboard, and it's really hard to get back into it at that point. So we say it all the time, if you have momentum,
got the big mo.
if you got the big mo on your side, momentum, the big mo, if you got it, don't let it go. It's easier to stay fit than to get fit. It's easier to stay busy than to get busy. So, like, get into that momentum and hold on to it. But it starts with your daily habitual patterns. Because people think it's one big sweeping change and everything's going to fall into place. It's usually micro changes done consistently over time.
Like, I've been making my bed since I was a child. Like, my mom, her biggest thing was like, you get out of the bed, first thing you do is make the bed. Like, that was my mom's standard, and I had to make the bed. Now, as an adult, I make my bed every morning when I get out of it, and it's like I got my first task done of the day. First win. So even if it's the smallest thing of like, you just don't make your bed in the morning. I have tons of friends. I mean, I'm in my early 30s. I have friends that don't have kids yet, all that, and they're like, why would I make my bed? I'm just getting right back into it tonight. Like, what's the point? And there's so much more behind it than just leaving the bed a mess. It starts with your internal dialogue. So you get the bed made, and then I'm out of bed, and then I'm like, okay, what's on to my next? Now I go wash my face, brush my teeth. I have my habit set. I get on the bike, or I get to my gym. And it's just now a habitual routine of mine. And if I don't make my bed and I go home, I feel like I'm like, I need to make my I need to make my bed.
I can't tell you how many times I've had a shit day, kicked in the teeth, and they happen. It's real estate in San Diego. It happens. And I go in and I look at my bed and I'm like, oh, well, at least I have that. Like, seriously, it's the small things. And look, the psyche of a salesperson, the psyche of a human being, is a very fragile thing. It doesn't take much to tilt.
Either way.
Like, things are going awesome, and then one phone call later, oh, I lost this one. I got another
one
phone
Instagram post you see or something, something you're just like,
I know.
Sweet.
So that's how we prepare. We are fanatical about it. We keep our eye on it because you know what? Our mindset determines where we're going. It's actually the rudder that determines the direction we're going. And when it comes to processes, think about direction over speed. Because in this culture today, everything's now. Everything's right now. Instant gratification. I want my lunch in 10 seconds. I want to play a video game and get my dopamine hit. All the things. But consider the direction you're going in and then worry about speed. Because your North Star needs to be where you want it to be going. Right? And then you can up the speed, up the frequency, and build processes that are getting you just a little bit closer every day to where you're headed.
To where you want to be. You know, like think of the person that you want to be. What are the steps that you have to take to get there? And that's kind of what I do. I think of who do I want to be in 5 years? Who's the person I want to be in 10 years? And what am I doing right now that's not going to get me to being Tuesday at 12 o'clock because one of my clients was like, let's go get drinks. Is that putting me where I want to be? No, I want to be making calls. I want to be making money. Like, there's so many different things that it comes down to. So think about your choices, and it starts with little daily actions. And that's where we really live. We try to be the best that we can. We're all just trying to be the best we can with what we have. It's not perfect, but I know for one thing, on the days that I really don't want to do it, when I show up like this morning, I did not want to get on that Peloton. I was like, I was going to do everything to avoid it, and I was like, you know what, I just need to get outside and read my book with my workout clothes on, so I'm already outside by my Peloton. Got on the Peloton, did the first 20 minutes, and I was like, let's do another 20 minutes.
Whoa.
And it was the time where you really don't want to do it, where that's your wins. Like, you were like, I'm a badass. I pushed myself. And then you continue to push yourself out of those limits. And we have days where the efforts do turn into don't want tos, but we don't let that continue.
Well, when you're focusing on going further, those are fewer and fewer. And look, man, I've been on the side of it where I'm completely out of it, feeling lost, self-hatred, taking over, just completely in a hole. And so sometimes just going to the gym and going to the sauna, or just getting out of my head, or
going on a walk
is the win. So no matter where you're at, you can take one step towards where you want to be. And it's okay if it's just like, I remember Dr. Phil told the lady, look, just stand during commercials. And she did that for 60 days and lost like 8 pounds. And then guess what? She was on to the next thing. And next thing you know, she had lost hundreds of pounds.
That's great.
So,
Yeah.
random story, sorry. Love you, Dr. Phil, you're the man. And, and if you made it to the end, you got that little nugget. But we are just so excited to help. We're so excited in the kind of energy we start feeling in the San Diego market. And if you ever need help coming up with a process for your businesses, for life, for your workout, I mean, we do it all.
Yeah.
So we're happy to share our experience.
And to be honest, that's kind of our biggest fulfillment is we know when we can help our agents, when we can help them get deals on the boards, that's where we get fulfillment. And so we want to be of service any ways we can help. So please let us know. If you're just having a shit day, chances are something's happened in our day too that wasn't super great.
Yeah.
And we can help each other because I know when I help somebody else, it helps me and vice versa. So that's what we want to be.
That's where you connect with people, and our wounds connect us, or our shitty days connect us, right? Because we all wear this mask, like, it's great, I'm just, everything's fine.
Highlight reel.
Highlight reel, like, and the truth is we're struggling from fear-based thinking, from adversity, from the don't want tos, from procrastination. We suffer from that big time.
Oh God.
Only all the time. Okay?
All the time.
So when you come to us and say, hey, I need help with this, and we get to share in that, we are truly connected. So we are more alike than different, and we would love to hear from you guys. So anything that we can help with, I hope you have an awesome sunny San Diego weekend. And until next time,
I'm Haley.
and I'm Ryan.
Bye.